What's up, guys? This is my OP-14 Green Purple Luffy deck list. I think it's actually viable in this meta. I think it's back. It's good into Mihawk and Crocodile, and it's pretty good into Boa. You just have to know how to do the matchup. The only real issue is Ace, but that matchup is winnable. If you just DMG their 10 drop blockers and you have to push for game pretty early. And if they don't have as much counter, then you can win, but it is hard. I'm going to talk about this card because I don't run it personally. I want to talk about it beforehand because if you're going to play this deck in like a serious event like regionals or like the Red Bull event or something, then I would run this card. It's just board protection. It protects all your Straw Hat from KO. I don't like it because it's only KO. It's not removed from the field. It only protects from KO events. So this is your way to beat Emu every time. You just play this down and they can't Mars your board. So if you're going against a lot of Emu at locals or you just want to run this card, I would run it until the Robin promo comes out. Me personally, I'm just going to wait for the Robin promo because it's not that far away. And the Robin promo is just goated because it protects from all removal. And it's just it's purple, so it's searchable. I don't like how this is green and how it only buffs green cards and that it only protects KO. That's why I don't run it. But if you were to run it, I'd run at least 3, maybe 4 in the Emu matchup. Because once you have board protection against Emu is actually really easy with this deck because you go so wide early. So they only have like one 10 drop turn, and then when they 10 drop, you can just DMG or 4 drop Nami their blockers, you know. So Emu's not a real problem with this or Robin promo. So when Robin promo comes, GP's going to be even better because Emu's going to be a cakewalk and your only really challenge is going to be Ace. But let's go over the deck list with the staple Green Purple Luffy cards first. I'm going to briefly go over these because every deck should have these. It's 4 Searcher Namis, 4 more Searcher Namis. And keep in mind that the Nami searchers can't grab other Nami cards, which can suck sometimes when you're searching for your 4-drop. Then we have 4 Zoro Juro, obviously. 4 Sanji Pudding. This is just like your main engine. You want to go second, open up with double searcher or just the 2-drop searcher, and then go into Zoro Juro. And then the next turn you can go Sanji Pudding, leader effect into another Zoro Juro. So on your 6th Dawn turn, you can have 2 Zoro Juros and a Sanji Pudding on board. And you can just be super wide. And then obviously 3 Rush Luffys. I'm sure everyone knows what this card does. You just restand. It can restand and swing twice. And for the staple 2Ks, 4 Sanji. 4 Sanjis. This is a really good 2K, searchable. It's a blocker if you need it to be. 4 Usohashis. Best purple 2K in the game. Now I'm going to go over the more tech options that I run that are like interchangeable between other cards. It's the Sanji. Now let me talk about the Sanji. It's very strong. It's another 5-drop that you can play if you don't have Sanji Pudding, but this deck's so consistent that most of the time you're always going to have Sanji Pudding. So this is just like a secondary option. Or like towards the later game when you're on your 7 or 8 Dawn turn, you can make really strong combos with this, playing like 2 to 3 5-drops in one turn, 5/7s with the Sanji Puddings. On play, restand 2 Dawn, so it's a 3/7 basically, and then with leader effect, you can restand all the Dawn you used for him. And then at the end of the turn, you can restand a Dawn as active. So I had this at 4, but it got kind of bricky and I didn't use it as much as I wanted to. So I brought it down to 2. I think 2 is a really good number for this card. But yeah, it's a pretty good card. It's not bad. When Robin promo comes, I might cut it though for the promo. I haven't decided what I wanted to cut for the promo yet. And now we have 2 of these blocker Namis. This card's so strong. It just helps so much against Emu and like anytime you want to go for a game, or even if you just want to play it because you have extra Dawn. It's a very strong defensive unit because it's a blocker, and then you rest 2 of your opponent's cost 8 or less characters, and then at the end of your turn you set 5 Dawn up. So I run a very event heavy build because these two cards just give you Dawn, and you already keep Dawn up. So yeah, this card's just really strong. Or if there's just a body that you need to clear, that like let me give an example. I know it's not really like strong meta, but I went against a Foxy at locals, and you know Foxy likes to keep their small like 2 and 3 drops on the board, so their leader effect can be procced every turn. But I just dropped one of these, and they're all like low power, like 2, 3, and so I just cleared their whole board, and they couldn't use leader effect. That's one example of something you could do with this card. It's really good. I wish it was searchable off of the Namis, but unfortunately it's not. And you can't search it with Zordro either, so that sucks. I run one of the stunned on Luffy. This card is really strong against like curve heavy decks, like Yellow Luffy, Mihawk, even Crocodile, like all these decks that want to go like a certain curve. Like Mihawk goes first, and then on your 4 Dawn turn you can play this stun a Dawn, so they can't play their 5 drop, they can't play a Tashigi or anything, so then they don't get their leader effect. Or even if you want to wait, if they searched out a Shanks, you can wait until your 6 Dawn turn, and you can go Sanji Pudding, and then leader effect, you'll have 4 Dawn, and you play this to stun a Dawn, then they can't play Shanks on you. Then they either they have to play Shanks a turn late, or they're just not going to have a Shanks, and they're going to play their secret Mihawk. So this is a really strong card. I might bring it up to 2 because of how this meta is, but I'm not sure. I've been testing a lot with this list, so I might make a couple changes, but this is really consistent for what I've been playing and testing. I do run 1 Luffy Taro. I cut it down to 1 because I don't think it's as necessary. In my opinion, this card was really only necessary to have in your deck for the mirror match for GP Luffy, because when this deck was like really popular and everyone was on it, going second in the mirror match and then going it would be Zoro, Sanji Pudding, Zoro, and then the turn after you can go Luffy Taro, Sanji Pudding. Going wide like that would basically give you, if you had God Curve going wide with Luffy Taro, you basically won the game. That's why people run 2 of these. But I brought it down to 1 because it's not as important now. And you can't play these green targets off of it, so you can only really play these 2 targets, which is, they're good targets, but it's just not as important. But I still do keep it at 1 because it is a strong card to go wide with. Now I have all the events. I do run a lot of events. Let me tighten this up a little bit. Give me some more room. Oh, sorry. Okay, so for the events, we have 2 zero-cost events, 1 Divine Departure, and then 1 Jet Gatling. The Divine Departure is just generally better than the Jet Gatling because of the main effect if you ever need it to clear a big body. But the Jet Gatling is searchable, and you know you could get a Dawn out of trigger, but that's not really important. We don't play this card for the trigger. But yeah, so I do 1 of each because this one's searchable and this one's just better. So yeah, we did run 2 zero-cost events for the bricks. It's a very event-heavy board or build, and it's really strong into Mihawk specifically because they also run a lot of events, and so when you run the events that they run plus Gum Gum Giant, you just win. So we have 2 of the I know you're strong, so I'll go out from the start. This basically just kills Mihawk. It really helps against Crocodile, and like, I don't know, this event's just so good. It just stalls for a whole turn, stuns 2 7 costs for 3 Dawn. It's just so broken because you have so much Dawn from your leader effect that you can get away with just wasting 3 Dawn on this. And sorry, still having a whole turn. So yeah, it's 2 of those. And then 2 Divine Departure. I used to run 3, but I brought it down to 2 because I also run this event. Divine Departure is still really good, but we have this 4-drop Nami now that can rest the blockers. So it doesn't make sense to run 3 Divine Departure, so you run 2 and 2. So 4. So 2 Divine Departure, rest 4 Dawn, rest 2 of the opponent's characters or Dawn, so you can rest blockers or you can rest Dawn. And then it's also a plus 3k. I run 2 of the search events. I don't know. I'm still debating on what to cut for the Robin promo. It might be the search events. It might be the Sanjis. It might even be the 2 stages I run, because I also run 2 stages. But I don't know. That's for the future to decide. So yeah, 2 of the searcher events, because this deck is so consistent. You have so many searchers. Like, I don't see a world where you're not finding your pieces with all these searchers. So it's one of the more consistent decks out there. I will preface this. The only deck that I can think of off the top of my head that's like also super consistent is like maybe Emu, but even I have a better time on this than I do Emu, because I played Emu for a while, and I like not finding your searchers on Emu is like really tough. But you're like always finding a searcher with this deck, and even if you don't find searchers, you're gonna have your core pieces, because that's all your deck is core pieces and searchers. Anyway, we have 4 Gum Gum Giant, obviously the best purple event in the game. Trash a card, get +4, draw 2 cards. It's a broken card. That's why it makes this card what makes every purple Luffy leader really strong. Gum Gum Giant. And then we have, this is a new card. I replaced Bagua with this because Bagua's getting out of rotation. And also, if you don't have Baguas and you don't want to spend, I think they're like, what, like $4 or $5. This is just like, you know, just change. It's basically the same thing as Bagua. I think this is better than Bagua though. The only thing is Bagua has a Rampadon trigger, which isn't really important because we want it for the event. It's +4, and then if your opponent has a 6,000 power or more body, you gain Arrested Dawn. So yep, 2 Baguas or whatever. And then we run 1. This card comes in clutch so much. You don't even know. Gum Gum Giant Pistol. I want to run 2 of this card so bad because it's won me so many games. Like a video on my channel against Mihawk that I recently did. This won me the game so hard because they were a 7k leader with like 3 cards in hand, I think. And then this just got me there. And you can, even if you don't like put it on like one of your bot, you could just put it on a Nami for aggression. If you're already like ahead and you don't have anything to do with your Dawn for 1 turn, you can just put it on one of your searchers and swing 8 just for more aggression. So yeah, this is a really good card. I want to put it to 2, but there's not really any room. But yeah, do not sleep on this. This is so strong. And then I run 2 stage. You can't really run 4. It's just not really that important anymore. And Crocodile can bottom deck stages, so it's whatever. But it's still like, you know, it replaces itself, so it's a free draw, and then you can buff your characters. But everything's base cost now anyway, so it just doesn't matter. But yeah. So the Robin promo, I'm going to talk about that for a little bit, because when the Robin promo comes out, I think this is going to be one of the top decks. One of the top decks again that's like seen a lot in regional play. And so the Robin, if you did not know, it is a 3 cost 4,000 power, and once per turn you rest one of your Dawn cards, and it just protects your board. So if they try to pop your board, you rest a Dawn to save your board. It saves any Straw Hat character, it saves itself. It's just so strong, and you're always going to have Dawn up anyway because you keep Dawn up. So this is a really good protection option. You don't need stage anymore. But yeah, until that comes out, I do recommend using this. I'm not gonna do it because I don't care enough about that. I don't like this card. I just eat it whenever I get matched with Emu at locals. I just eat the loss. It's still winnable if you go second, even without the board protection. If you go second and you have your full curve, it's very winnable. It's actually not bad at all. But if they take second and you don't have the board protection, you just lose. So yeah, it's really hard. So I would recommend using this if you're going to play the deck now rather than wait for the Robin promo. But yep, that's it. That's the list. I hope you enjoyed. I do recommend trying it out. It's a lot of fun. It's my favorite deck. And Yeah, that's it. See ya.